The views expressed on this podcast are based on a satirical and at times comical view of the subject matter. So don't get your panties in a wad. Live long and prosper, fuckers. Let's get the show started.
Big O! It's showtime!
This is the Tempest universe, man. Hold on to your ass. You're in for a hell of a ride.
Myself and my current co-host, Captain Morgan, would like to welcome you to the Wednesday episode of the podcast. And we got some crazy news articles to talk about. We got some stuff going on. Now, as promised on Monday, the truth is that the majority of the articles out there right now is not about UFO sightings, for fuck's sakes. They're not. They're about this damn report that people actually feel is going to be like June 1st, bam, they got the report, everything's solved. You know, unidentified is now identified. I know why I've been getting probed and by whom. So it's all over, man. We're gonna know who is mutilating the cattle. It's gonna be all done. We're going to see the light in June. Well, no, it's not gonna be June 1st. We're lucky if it happens the day that the other day that people are saying now, June 25th. We're lucky if it happens in damn July. It might be after Independence Day, just because they want to make a point about it. But basically, that's what we're stuck with. Up until they release that damn report, this is what it's all about. We're going to have to dig deep in shit to find other things to talk about in the next month or so. We really are. We might have to bring some really wild and crazy people on here to talk to, crazier than I am, in order to just take a break from all this government report nonsense. Because I don't feel really good about it. But we got some articles here. And actually, I have an audio clip I got to play. Because we had that one deal that we talked about, that news report that said that after Obama was on television late night talking about this UFO situation, the report and everything. And then somebody went to one of the news conferences and asked President Biden about it. He's like, why don't you go ask Obama? He was really mad. He's like, fuck, this wasn't scripted for me. Right? If it's not a script, don't ask me those questions. Didn't they tell you that? Didn't they pass the money around? Right. So it wasn't in the script. So he didn't know what the hell to say. So he said, yo, you go ask Obama. And that's kind of weird. It's kind of strange for the acting president to tell the public to go ask the former president what the fuck is going on in the government today. I'm just saying that doesn't go very well, I think. It's like a lead balloon type of situation. But here's something kind of strange, because apparently the press secretary, she's got some info. Check this out.
We're aware of the report requirement, and our team at the Office of the Director of National Intelligence is, of course, actively working on that report. And we take reports of incursions into our airspace by any aircraft, identified or unidentified, very seriously, and investigate each one. But Odie and I would be working on that report, and in terms of disclosure, that would be up to them.
I guess in all seriousness, though, can you characterize the president's concerns about this phenomenon? I mean, it is this concept of objects in U.S. airspace that are either origin from other nations or other entities, but what is the concern of the president that this phenomenon seems to occur in the national security apparatus?
Well, I think broadly speaking, the fact that we have a team that's actively working on a report. Certainly the safety of our personnel, security of our operations, our airspace are of paramount concern, whether that is identified or unidentified aircraft. And we don't discuss that publicly for a range of reasons, but certainly the President supports the OD and I putting together a report and following through on that commitment.
For fuck's sake, the question was, what the fuck was his concerns? You don't have any. Nobody schooled him on it. That's basically what's happening here. The freaking press secretary knows more than the president does about this report. I mean, since last August, they've been talking about this fucking report. The guy had no idea. He was clueless about the whole thing. So, yeah, she couldn't really answer it directly because he has no fucking idea. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. Sad to say. But that's the world we live in. And, you know, people say it in circles of ufology. The president has no power. He don't know shit. He's just a figurehead. Well, there you go. Perfect example. Yeah. Absolutely 100% true in this case. He has no idea what the hell is going on with this report. And you know, basically, there's no hope at this point, to be honest. There's no hope. You don't know what the hell you're going to get. The redaction is going to be crazy. Hopefully, they use those scented markers, you know, like grape flavor or something. So at least a person is going to be doing all that redacting doesn't get sick from all the ink they got to put down. Anyway, this is the Temper Universe. I am Manny, your host. And again, I'm here with my co-host, Captain Morgan, Apple Flavor. And so we got 4 articles to talk about today. It's just crazy. It really is. The whole thing is absolutely nuts. What's up to the guys that are live in the live chat on Spreaker.com? If you want to interact live, this is the place to do it. I actually was kind of throwing around the idea for the from now until this report comes out, just to have the call-in line open. So people that want to comment on it and call in at the craziness of articles that we're going to be seeing in the next month or so, that you guys can call in and just talk about it. Just give your opinion. You know, we'll talk about it and we'll see what it is. But for today, we got Catholics in the news. Yeah. We got Billy Meyer. We've got Marco Rubio. I mean, the guy has a lot to say, so yeah, he does. And then there's an article that's asking the question, now that the government says that UFOs are real, what's next? What the fuck you mean what's next? Anyway, we're gonna talk about that. Now, I didn't get to change the music for today, so I'm just going to play it backwards. We'll play number 4 through 1, so hang tight. Here it comes. The first article really is one of those situations where you take someone who doesn't know too much about the history of UFOs, not unidentified, so much flying objects, right? It's not so much that, but the idea that these things are not of a terrestrial origin, right? And then you decide you're going to sit down and write a fucking paper or an article, and the first thing you say is the shit that just comes out your mouth, just automatically. It's like you threw up. The question on this article is, the government says UFOs are real. What's next? What the fuck you mean what's next? That's my question. The thing is, UFOs are real. They've been real. Well, that's not the issue. The issue is who the fuck is driving these things. Where do they originate from? It's not the actual UFO. This individual wrote this article, and I guess, listen, every article that has to do with UFOs, again, for the next month or two, is going to originate with the Pentagon, the intelligence, the U.S. Intelligence Committee, the report that's coming. It's all going to be the same thing. You know, the alphabet soup people, they need to divulge all their secrets. The only thing about this whole situation with the Senate Intelligence Committee is that they're going to release unclassified reports. Now, for fuck's sake, if I don't want to, all I got to say is highly classified. You know, above the president, above the Senate Committee, above everybody. And it's not going to make this report, right? So who's going to fight them on that? Nobody. The other thing is that the word is that this report was already ready to go. But a couple of our favorite folks out there, you know, FBI, CIA, those guys, they're not divulging information. So the report's being, you know, kind of held back a bit. Now, that was a story about 3 months ago. Maybe it's done. Maybe it's good to go. But this guy here is saying, come on. You've got over 70 years of evidence. What the fuck does all that mean to anyone? What does it mean that after 70 years now we're saying unidentified flying objects are real? And then people, they run with it. They really do. There's a couple of dates in here that this individual is mentioning because they're saying, hey, go to these articles and look at the overwhelming amount of evidence towards UFOs, but with a hint, just a little hint, that maybe these UFOs are not exactly terrestrial, but they never really mention it. And that's the thing. That's what's happening right now. Certain entities will skirt it by saying they've never seen another country with this type of technology, and then they leave it like that. And it's like, okay, right. Can you just give me a fucking answer? You're just leaving it as a cliffhanger. It's a damn question. Give me, what is it? What is it? April 30th, New Yorker. Apparently they posted this article by Gideon Lewis Krause, which accounts for about 70 plus years of evidence and testimonial on UFOs. Including, and this is where you kind of move to the other side, that most people in politics are trying not to touch, including bizarre stories about alien abductions that happened during that length of time. But that's the part that people aren't talking about. That's the part the article isn't talking about, because the fact is, the article just can only stop at UFOs. It can't go into the other side, meaning little gray men, reptilians, Nordics, those guys. It won't go into that because it can't. Because what's on the table right now in this report, it's simply UFOs, unidentified flying objects or unidentified aerial phenomena. That's it. The minute you cross into the ET side of things, it all falls apart. You're still a wacko, just so that you understand. The article again goes into saying that the individual that put together this incredible evidence-based depiction of 70 plus years of UFOs, they wrote an amazing story. Then on May 13th, Ezra Klein, the Vox co-founder, who is a columnist for the New York Times, wrote another piece, which was titled, basically, even if you think discussing aliens is ridiculous, just hear me out. Again, another piece with lots of evidence that said, listen, there are things that are extremely difficult to explain, even if you took the alien part out of it and you just look at the facts. It cannot be human. They can't. Klein, in that article, goes on to, of course, quote the Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe. He says, we are talking about objects that frankly engage in actions that are difficult to explain, movements that are hard to replicate, and we don't have the technology for or traveling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier without a sonic boom. But if national security intelligence is telling you that we don't have any of this, who does? Well, they can't answer that. They can't. But that's a problem because they won't. They just won't finish answering the questions. They're just not able to. They just won't, for some strange reason. But the bigger question here is something that we asked back in the UFO Buster Radio days. If your government can't protect you, who can? If they can't tell you what's flying over your skies and flying around F-18 Super Hornets like their remote-controlled drones, who can help you? This individual had a couple of questions. One is, now what? If the government believes that the Earth is being monitored by aliens who are vastly superior in technology, how do we respond to that? How can we respond to that? And if that means that we need to get stronger, does that mean the Pentagon is going to need an even bigger budget, quadruple what it gets? And at the end of the day, if ET is so fucking advanced, and if this is ET, because all we know is unidentified, how can we even defend ourselves? Maybe that's what the whole thing is. We can't. We already know that. So we just sit back and relax. Because it's pretty much all you can do, right? But the thing is that it also goes into quoting the late great President Ronald Reagan, suggesting back in 1987 that maybe with the world being divided so much, maybe it would take an alien threat, quote unquote, to bring the world together against one enemy. But a lot of this is the same thing that our reptilian friend Stephen Greer has been telling us for years. Apparently, this author is not familiar with Stephen Greer because I'm sure they probably would have quoted him the 5,000 times he said it. That what we're looking at is a stronger military presence, lots of money going into the military-industrial complex because there is a threat of aliens. And so that's what we're building up to be honest. There's a threat. Now, do I believe that aliens walk around in pigtails and suck on lollipops? They suck on something, all right. They like to probe and things like that. But I think a lot of people forget that there's a lot of stories about UFO abductions and situations that they're not friendly at all. Not in one bit. Yeah. So that's what this article is asking. There's a few more questions in there, some more discussion, and some quotes from some other articles that they brought into this one just to ask the question, what the hell happens now? What happens now? We're going to, I'm sure, be asking the same question over the next couple months because this really is where we're at. This is what we're going to be listening to from most podcasts. Most people in the news. Until the damn report comes out, then we're all fucking disappointed. And we're back to square one.
take it too far. Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. Like a fish on land. Must be hell, no more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. I was getting lost in the quicksand. Seagrass was all I found. An alternative hell, no more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. But I'm deep, deep down on the bottom of a well. I don't belong, can't you tell? This place must be hell. No more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land.
Marco Rubio. By the way, if you don't know who Marco Rubio is, or if you've never come across his picture, it is the picture for this particular episode is Senator Marco Rubio himself. He's the Republican from Florida, I believe. Anyway, Senator Rubio wants you to know that the military knows what UFOs are. Or at least they know way more than what they're telling us. And so he wants them to share that information. So Rubio, was the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee. And so he wrote this provision into the Intelligence Authorization Act, which, as we know, was part of that $2.3 trillion coronavirus relief and bill that was signed by President Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, back in last December. And, so that's what threw people just like, fuck, we're going to get it, we're going to know. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to know. We're going to know something, whatever they don't redact. Anyway, so the actual document apparently is supposed to be due from the Pentagon and the Director of National Intelligence June 25th. And again, even this article is reiterating a non-classified report with a detailed analysis of unidentified aerial phenomena data. Okay. Again, this is so basically, I think what they're going to do, they're going to take all the shit they've been releasing in the last, 3 years plus? The Tic Tac, the FLIR, the Go Fast, that pyramid shit from a couple months ago, or maybe just last month. They're going to take those that we've already seen, and they're going to give us their analysis, which their analysis is, it's a fucking UFO. I don't think it's going to go any further than that, to be honest. That's where I'm at. Now, you got people like Lua Lozando, A-Tip, and all these other guys who will give you the story, right? It is funny how all of the military personnel, like Fravor and all those guys, they came close or were touched, by the magic fingers of ATIP and To the Stars Academy, gave them that little finger rub. That all of those guys are not afraid of saying alien. They really aren't. They are like, shh. They will go as far as saying, not of this world, But if you get someone else that wasn't touched by these conspirators, they don't go that far. They really don't. They try to stay as much as possible away from that topic. They will just say, UFO, amazing shit happened, wowzers. I'm afraid now. I don't know what the hell that was. But all right, so June 25th, that's what we're waiting for. Now, Rubio, of course, is constantly talking about what he's expecting to see and what it means for the people of America to have this report, to finally give him some answers. But we know we're not getting shit. Here's one quote. Men and women we have entrusted with the defense of our country are reporting encounters with unidentified aircraft with superior capabilities. He was, shouting at the people at the Tampa Bay Times. We cannot allow the stigma of UFOs to keep us from seriously investigating this. The forthcoming report is one step in that process, but it will not be the last. Hey, absolutely right. Hats off to Marco Rubio. You got that right. It's not going to be the last. Probably not the last in a long chain of rubber dicking that the American public is going to get. Let's be honest about that. It goes on to talk about the one clip that I played, I believe it was either Monday or last Wednesday, from 60 Minutes, that included the interview with pilot Lieutenant Ryan Graves and how what he described the object that they saw off of the coast of Jacksonville in 2015. And the thing is, again, here's someone who really is not going to go as far as saying it's ET, because he really wasn't touched by all these conspiracy guys, right? Listen, let's be honest, we're conspiracy people too. That's why we're on this podcast. And basically he says anything that enters an airspace that's not supposed to be there is a threat. No shit, Sherlock. Are you kidding me? And he says the public deserves to know as much as possible about it. The provisions in the Intelligence Authorization Act requires that non-classified reports be made public. There is something here with Marco Rubio. I feel it. Feel it in my core. There is a reason why he's doing this. Now, either Harry Reid is being the puppet master and pulling, Marco Rubio's strings to get him to do this. Maybe he reminds him. He's like a younger Harry Reid, and Harry Reid is like, empowering him to get this shit done. I don't know. I can't imagine Harry Reid just sitting in Nevada, just chilling, not doing nothing, just gracefully growing old. I have a feeling he's got his hands in this somewhere in there. Louis Elizondo said, basically imagine a technology that can go 600 to 700 G forces and can fly 13,000 miles an hour, can evade radar, and can fly through air and water and even space. That's precisely what we're seeing. Leave it to Lou to put it all in perspective. Basically shitting on everything that the military has in the United States and probably everywhere, to be honest. Let's be honest about that. Who else can do this? Who else would have the technology to do this? But there it is. Louis Elizondo, again, does he skirt that line of saying that it's ET? I don't know. But Rubio continues to say that there is a stigma on Capitol Hill around the topic of UFOs. Well, guess what? Not anymore, Rubio. Thanks to you, everybody's talking freaking ET. I mean, we'll see the next elections that come around. For fuck's sake, everyone's going to have something to say about UFOs. There's no doubt about it. This report, it's out in the open now. Forget about COVID-19. We got shots now. Forget about COVID-45. I think they're talking now that they want to talk to China to kind of work out how exactly that coronavirus got all crazy on them. Forget about all of that. This is it. It is going to be UFOs for at least until the end of the year. After that, gonna go back in the closet somewhere until the next presidential election probably. But yeah, so there you go. Marco Rubio, he is hot to trot. He wants to know what UFOs are. He believes you need to know what UFOs are about. But let's be honest. As far as them providing an analysis, you can go on the internet and you can find a lot of scientific groups where they've studied these videos. They've done their analysis. You could have saved us all freaking billions of dollars, Marco Rubio, and just gone to the damn internet and gotten a report written in scientific notation. So again, I don't know. There seems to be a plot here. There's like a second plot here to this whole situation with Marco Rubio. And really, what are his motives? That's what I want to know. Because he doesn't seem like he's a UFO believer, alien believer type of guy. So somebody is pushing him to do this. Maybe he's one of those, special interest groups. One of those PACs. Who knows? There's more to this article. Of course, as always, the link is in the description. You can check out what else Marco Rubio is after. But I believe sometime in June or July, we'll find out if he gets what he deserves.
Don't force me out of bed in your society. Don't push me down the road you're playing down. Don't try to fix my head, it's just your anxiety. Don't hush me now, cause I just wanna shout. Don't make me dance to the tune that you're humming. No, my body don't move like that. Don't make me pretend I don't see your shortcomings. You'll be running when I raise the black flag. Get out your bomb and fly away. We'll be dancing with our hands in the air when our new dawn is rising. To the break of dawn. You can't keep me in a cage made of tired ideas. It's rusting out faster by the day. I won't wear your leash, I won't take no deals. I won't stay quiet when there's so much left to say. I'm not buying no rise of suburban life when there's a fire raging just outside our door. You talk about peace on earth and the summer of love while you're sleeping on pills through the war. Get out your bomb and fly away. We'll be dancing with our hands in the air when our new dawn is rising. We'll be dancing with our hands in the air when our new dawn is to the break of dawn.
For some reason, this song reminded me of that Eddie Murphy movie, the Beverly Hills Cop. I don't know why.
Don't fucking scream at me.
Where's
you
the money?
dumb fuck you? Look at you with your fucking 48% body fat.
This next article brings something that we don't really get too much on the podcast. Not for a while. Not since we had Don on UFO Buster Radio. You know, enlighten us the Catholic way. The Catholic way of seeing UFOs. Well, I think she was more of a Christian. I don't know if she was Catholic, for fuck's sake, to be honest. But anyway, the article is about Catholics. Alien life looks more and more likely. Catholics are ready. I don't even get that. That just makes no sense to me. This is a article that was posted on the Washington Post, and it's about this guy, the author, and he talks about when he met the head of the Vatican Observatory, and apparently some people like to call him the Pope astronomer, the Pope's astronomer. But really, still, I don't even get this because I've never met a devout Catholic that was cool with the topic of aliens. Just let's be honest about this. But apparently, what this guy is hanging out with the Vatican's observatory head dude, they started to talk about aliens. I mean, really, let's be honest. Whether or not it was with the Vatican or whatever religion a person would have been, if they're at a freaking observatory, the topic's bound to come up. You're looking at so many stars. You're even looking probably at our own solar system. Well, yeah, I can see how it would come up, even if he was the head of the Vatican's observatory. Why not? And apparently, the first time he asked him, he agreed. He agreed that the Catholicism had an intellectual tradition that would have zero problems with the idea of intelligent life. That is just weird. That's just, I don't even get it. Now, there is a, in parentheses, he did write that basically that it's kind of irrational nature of thinking about things, you know, that there could be intelligent life somewhere else. But then I guess later on he asked them in another interview that he had with him if he would be willing to baptize an alien. He said, only if she asked. Which again is not out of the norm, right? Because you wouldn't freaking baptize any Tom, Dick, and Harry off the street without asking them first, or them asking you. So again, nothing to do with aliens there. So it makes no sense. Yeah, the guy just goes into, after his, touching religious alien situation with this individual, he goes into the stories about possibly that maybe what we're seeing could be super secret spy technology from like China and Russians that the United States didn't know about. So maybe that's what these UFOs are about. But there's still the idea and speculation over time that these are not humans. They are not humans from this planet. And then they go into the speculation of what it would mean for religious belief. Like it would be a problem or a challenge for some people to accept it because of their religion. But again, you would also have to believe, if that's your perspective, according to this individual, that humanity is a cosmic accident. That we are basically a 1 in quadrillion billion chance that we just happen to be. And we know from science that's not very likely. We're just out in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, of space. So no one can find us, or at least we think they can't. The part about this that really gets me is that the article is asserting that the Catholic intellectual tradition is ready to embrace the idea that there is such a thing as aliens. And that if they show up on the planet, they would embrace aliens and embrace their non-human intelligence. One of the comparisons to aliens and the Bible that this article makes is that religiously, Catholics believe in other intelligent beings, such as angels, demons, demigods, jinn, and other non-human intelligence. I don't see how that's the same. Like, none of that, come on. How does that compare to a little gray alien? Or reptilian? Doesn't make any sense. How can that be what prepared people who follow Catholicism to ET, phoning home? There's no correlation. As a matter of fact, most people who are devout Catholics believe that aliens and UFOs are the work of the devil. It's a big deception. It is all the work of the devil to get you to praise his feats, his miracles, as you would say or think of in religion terms, rather than, following the word of God. That is what I've come across when it comes to Catholics and Christians regarding aliens. But according to this article, and the head of the Vatican's observatory, Brother Guy, it's all good, man. If you're a Catholic, you're ready. You're ready to take on ET and drop the holy water on them if you need to. I don't know. I kind of disagree with the article. As a matter of fact, I think I disagree with most articles today. I disagree with it completely. Like I said, I've never met a Catholic person that really is good to go with aliens. Not a single one. But then we get into the conspiracy. If maybe the Catholic already knows. Not the Catholic. Well, fuck, Catholics don't know shit. I can say that because I'm Catholic. Maybe the Vatican already knows what's in the report. Can you imagine? We have conspiracies about how powerful the Vatican is. They're already probably going to get the report before we do. The Pope's going to get there. He's going to get his sent over to him in PDF. Basically. As a matter of fact, they probably wrote the damn report. They're trying to get the other guys to approve it to then go to the Senate committee. I don't know. It's all crazy. But, is it possible that the Vatican already knows about aliens or shit like that? Very possible. Could this have been written in scriptures and parts of the Bible that they won't make public? Hey, that could be an issue too. But that's not the... Those aren't areas that I really investigated when it comes to UFOs and things like that. But for fuck's sake, it could happen, all right? Some of the scriptures that they have are extremely fucking old. And I guarantee you they got some alien shit in there. Captain Morgan backs me up wholeheartedly. So what do? We'll see what happens. Again, are you going to lose your shit just because your religion does not believe in aliens and people from other planets or civilizations or universes and stuff like that? Because, let's be honest. If you look at the core beliefs, some people say, well, if God created our solar system and our galaxy, he could have created the entire universe. So he created them too. I'm just saying, why don't we all... So who looks like... Who could he create in the image of himself? Because we got little grays and we got us. Very strange. Very strange indeed. One more article. It's kind of like a short article. It's something that I totally missed. I had no idea actually happened last year. But, we were all about the corona, man. All about the corona.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it is your work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.
Let me just be honest that all the religions of the world are going to have some explaining to do if E.T. is materialized in some way. It's not going to happen in June. I want you guys to understand that. I mean, E.T. is not going to be here in June. It's not. Maybe 10, 20 years if no one actually traps an E.T. somewhere or shoots him down. Because honestly, why can't we just shoot UFOs down? We fuck. Who's going to know? But anyway, all the religions are going to have to face some crazy shit, right? If aliens show up. And they're not like you and I. They're totally different. You know, they show up looking like Chewbacca. Then how are you going to explain that to your followers? I think at that point, like we thought we've seen in the past, religious fanaticism go crazy. Wait till E.T. shows up. It's going to be fucking nuts. All right, this was news to me, and it happened during the height of the coronaviruses. You know, when we would not even fucking leave the fucking house, when we had Shittergate going on, and there was no toilet paper anywhere. Apparently, there was a photo of a UFO that sold for $16,500 at the infamous auction house Sotheby's. I missed it. Look, I'll be honest with you. Other than doing the podcast, I wasn't looking at too much. The podcast and all the reports of all the elements that were going by, all the people getting sick around the world. The numbers, how they were getting so fucking high. Billy Edward Albert Myers, if you know the guy, from Switzerland. He even started his own religion because he was in contact with E.T. And he took pictures, not a fucking E.T., of the saucers out in the countryside. Him and his peeps. According to Billy was in contact with these aliens called the Plagiarians. I'm sure I messed that up, but who cares? They're alien. Nobody gives a fuck. he says basically these guys, these extraterrestrials that remain in contact with him, they presented him with materials during the 70s. Things like metal samples, sound recordings, film footage. They bestowed knowledge upon Billy Meyer. For some reason, I think about the commercial guy, Billy Mays. Billy Meyer, they gave him all this knowledge, right? And then, all of a sudden, Billy got all full of himself. Great, he took great pictures of these UFOs, fantastic. But then all of a sudden, he became more religious-like. Started his religion, and then claimed to be the 7th reincarnation after the 6 prophets that were a part of Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and so forth. He was the 7th one. Well, howdy ho, neighbor. Could you imagine living next to this guy? I mean, even though it's in Switzerland, beautiful countryside, but he's starting his own religion because he's the new prophet. For fuck's sake. Well, prophet, I'm sure that he knew because apparently Billy's still alive. From what I saw, he's still alive, and he should be 84 years old right now. Billy's photo, and it was one of the photos that actually was in one of the episodes of the X-Files, sold for $16,500. Amazing. How many years did it take to reach that value? Who says that being an extremist when it comes to the conspiracy doesn't pay off, for fuck's sake? What I want to know is what's going to happen to Billy now? Are the Plagarians going to come back and pick him up, take him for a ride? Because I'm sure his health cannot be that good at that age. I would imagine that his little religion, however it works, there might be a rendezvous with a certain UFO to come pick him up. And the other thing is, why haven't we had new pictures? I mean, Billy, for real, this is it. You are in the middle of the golden age of UFOs. Why aren't your people showing up to be on 4K HD? Nobody fucking knows. Who knows? I wonder if he'll do any interviews. I mean, at 84, he might not remember very much, but, they gave him a lot of shit. He's got to have it somewhere. But there you go. I missed this last year. I'm sure some of you did also. But the famous photo from good old Billy Meyer, 16.5. I would imagine that after he passes, it'll be worth a whole lot more. Same photo will probably go for like $500,000. Because, everything goes up when you're dead. People don't pay attention to you when you're alive. That is the last one for today. Their link is in the description if you want to kind of jog your memory of which photo it was that also showed up on the X-Files. But thank you, Billy. We appreciate it. Like I said before, the rest of the weeks to come, there's going to be a lot of talk about the damn report. Hopefully, my plan is to have like a segment of live call-ins from now until the damn thing just gets put out there somewhere, so that folks can call in and give their opinion about this report, the redaction or not. I would imagine, listen, if they're promising to make this unclassified and public to the folks of the world, basically, because everyone's going to get a copy of this thing, I would imagine there's going to be little redaction because they're going to have someone go in and give us a version of it. And all the good shit, all the shit we really want to know, we're not going to see. It'll probably stay with the Senate Intelligence Committee, and they'll just give us the cliff notes. Shit just to keep us wanting more, basically. This is the officially the end of the pod. I thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week, hopefully with some actual UFO news, like real UFOs, not this damn report. Ciao.
Today is the beginning of the end and the start of a new beginning. Time has come to page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and unbelievers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will be free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you are the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck.